Thomas More College. It is day 2 of the Indoor Africa Cup 2021 here in Kloof, Durban, KwaZulu-Natal. Welcome back. Magnificent school grounds for a great tournament, playing host to some of Africa's finest when it comes to indoor hockey. Namibia, South Africa, Botswana, all in action.
And this, of course, will be Botswana's last foray into the men's tournament, having played Namibia this morning, and they'll now be up against South Africa. Will Tefo Matabola be able to score? Will it be Ronan Andrews, maybe Kamogelo Lesaka, or even the defensive strongman Katlego Karate? All we know is Katlo Busong will be looking to his team to bring it home. Of course, for the South African men, so much excitement around Aiden Tumbongu Msoma. Produced probably the save of the tournament last night. And the likes of Chad Futcher, Rustin Abrahams, and Dan Sibbald will all be looking to get some goals on and grow in their confidence.
So the team's taking to the court, but before they get the game underway, let's get things started with the national anthems of Botswana and South Africa. The anthems are done. The waiting is over. And the fourth match of the day is about to get underway. Hosts South Africa up against visitors Botswana in the men's competition in the Indoor Africa Cup 2021. South Africa going into the clash on the back of that hard-fought 6-3 win over Namibia last night. Expected to find things a little easier this time around against a very inexperienced Botswana side who are looking to improve in each and every outing. For Botswana, without doubt, their key man has been Matabolo, the number 10. Also in the midfield, Toriso Bongwasi has certainly looked the part.
Yeah, for those who don't know too much about the hockey, if you think of a Piabo Lambete for the outdoor SA hockey men, Bongwasi very much a similar type of player, but he is looks like he probably bench presses a little bit more than Piabo. And of course for South Africa, it's the 5 featuring Chad Futcher, Lungani Gabela, Stephen Paulo, Aidenton, and Rustin Abrahams, who will start us off. Musa Mngoma is the keeper in goals after his fantastic save last night.
Match taking place at Thomas More College. Famous old boy, Sikle Ntuli, very well known in hockey circles within South Africa. His brother Billy went to the primary school before heading off to Kersney. And here's a great accolade. Their mom, Carol, was here for the official opening a couple of days ago of the center. She actually opened the center, and she is the longest staff member in the school. She's been, she teaches Zulu. She's been here since 1993, Ty.
Superb. I mean, Sikle is currently the SA Under-21 outdoor coach. He's also the assistant coach for the outdoor men and part of the Olympic team. And yeah, Derek, it's great to see you know the accolades that the Ntuli brothers have got. Billy, of course, playing overseas in Germany, hasn't been able to get over because of COVID, and that's been frustrating. Obviously, Sikle recently moved up to Pretoria and is the head coach of Tuks now. And yeah, things are going really well, and their mom can be very proud of the 2 boys that she's raised. And here goes Gabela, whose mom is incredibly proud of him as well.
I'm certain she is. Thomas More College, named after St. Thomas More. It's another one to keep in the memory bank for when you play the Wednesday 1K Challenge next Wednesday. And are tested by Ty and I. Talking about being tested, that's exactly what is befitting Katlo Busang, the keeper for Botswana. First penalty corner of the game. Abrams to deliver. And it goes to the center, to the big man. It goes just left. So that shot from Futcher wide. He won't be happy with that. Off the mark fairly early on, but no doubt he will make amends. Kirate looking to clear it. Instead, he gets it straight to Futcher.
Yeah, and with obviously the focus 100% onto tomorrow's game, South Africa probably looking to just conserve a little bit of energy here, conserve the legs, obviously get the job done, but not risk any injury ahead of tonight's game, and obviously the big one tomorrow. Of course, the game's tomorrow for 2 o'clock for the women's final and 4 o'clock for the men's final. Winner will go to Belgium.
Turn with the ball. Back to Paulo. Futcher. Gabela. Tun gets it back to Gabela. Gabela tries to go around the outside. Can't quite manage it, but he does well to stop it. And here's Abrams. Well saved. Busang with the save. You can see the applause from his teammates on the sideline. This is much better from Botswana.
Song has been incredible, well-spoken, very humble young man. And that is a penalty corner for South Africa. Penalty corner number 2. Will Chad Futcher pull rank here and say it's mine, my precious. He's a little bit taller than Gollum though.
If he does say it's mine, he's definitely not going to say it like that.
If he does say it like that, he's probably not going to get the ball.
No, agreed. Probably won't be on the team anymore, to be honest. Abrams to deliver. Futcher makes no mistake this time. I said he'd make amends, and that's exactly what he has done. The big guy slamming it home for South Africa's opening goal with the...
Did you see as he walked away there with the fist bump going, my precious.
Ty seeing things. What I saw, what a tremendous goal. And slammed into the back. And speaking of that man, there he is again. Paulo and Futcher, Gabella.
Of course, Chad and Paulo both reigning from the side. Great ball, Chad turning into provider, Rustin finishing it off. Chad and Stephen both from the same area that I grew up in, the East Rand. They were part of the Quakas for the PSR. And yeah, they were saying to me last night, you know, they knew back in the day what it was like to receive 14, 15 goals. And it's a great learning curve, and they've been sharing that with the Botswanas.
Some quick play here between the South Africans. You can see some interplay at the back. Kasim to the captain, Jethro Eustace. Eustace tries to get it to the other Kasim in the middle, Mustafa. Mustafa tries again. Can't quite get there. Man in the middle, Daniel Sibbalt. And we will go to penalty corner number 3, I think.
Well done, Derek. Who said you're not a maths genius?
Kasim fires it in. Mustafa Kasim, a special talent.
I was chatting to Ryan Heck just before the game, and I think that's one thing that he really wanted was he just said they wanted to be more clinical at penalty corner time, and Chad and Mustafa have answered that call.
Very much so. 2 of the 3 goals so far coming by way of penalty corners. As Bogwasi breaks away, but Kasim gets it back. And it's played nicely to the other Kasim. He'll probably center it through. He does, looking for his brother, but not to be. Kirate looks across, can't reach his man. Instead, he only finds Sibbalt. Kasim furious there. Thought he had the goal. Looks shocked at the umpire. Domleo. Kasim. Eustace. Domleo. Kasim. Sibbalt tries for the shot. Well saved. Got a second bite. Instead, he goes for the pass. And there we have Kasim. This time it's Dayan. And he gets another goal for South Africa. So the 2 Kasims sharing goals.
The areas on the finishing that the South Africans are doing so far really is precision. It's just inside the post. You know, keeper is never going to have easy saves there.
No, not a chance. Eustace, we don't have a problem. There he is, Jethro Eustace. Must be very happy with this team's performance so far, and with the team's performance in the competition in general. Of course, the main match taking place last night. That was against Namibia, and here is a breakaway. Kasim there, and he'll send it through to Sibbalt, but instead it is saved. But next up, and it's saved again. Great play from Busang.
I'd actually say that was an uncharacteristic error from Mazia, and he's actually apologizing to Sibbalt now, going to try and score the goal instead of just passing it in for the tap-in. You don't see that often, so Botswana probably had already put that on the scoreboard as a goal.
And in the end, Busang coming to their rescue. Sibold centers it through for Eustace. Keeps it low, keeps it straight, keeps it in the corner. And South Africa score. Goal number 5.
And that means there's now 3 minutes left in the first chaka. This game is being played at a bit of a slower pace. You can almost hear it. There's a little bit of a lower energy in the court, but Mustafa, he raises the tempo just for a second. Gets round Botsong and makes it 6.
How well did he control that ball?
No, I mean, we're not even going to talk about how well he can control a ball. It's insane. It's insane.
Just had a split second to react, and there he goes again. And he'll hand it to his brother. Mustafa moving forward, but instead it's Dom Leo to clean up at the back. Sibold waiting in the wings. He collects. He'll hand it over to Kasim. Kasim. But no, that was Jethro Eustace with the shot.
Jethro Kasim hitting it wide there.
We had a bit of a fan moment a short while ago, Ty. You and I having a selfie.
Yeah, a little bit of us being starstruck as we went to go take a photo with Tshepiso Jacob, the superstar from Botswana.
Great to see her without her mask. First time, I mean, now we actually know what she looks like.
Yeah, I can tell you that she was like, why would you want a photo with me? Very humble.
Yes. Super girl and a super talent. And yeah, despite Botswana conceding a host of goals throughout this tournament, it could have been a whole lot more were it not for the efforts of their keeper, Jacob. Kabele intercepts, manages well. It's it back to Tun. We talk about the first 5 and whoa!
Ladies and gentlemen, the stream almost died. But thanks to the nimble footwork of Chris, he managed to get his face out of the way. And his modeling contract does survive for another day. He's taken the headphones or so, he hasn't heard that, so at least I've got away with that. Cheers, Jethro! Still Jethro. And, oh, Russell Abraham's a little bit too casual there in trying to just...
Here's an opportunity running on. How quick will he be? Not quick enough, unfortunately. Nice attempt there by Tlotlo Ponosela. Able to get to the end of that. And here is their start. Tefo Matabolo can't find his man. Instead, he finds Chad Futcher. But it will be Botswana's ball. Karate. Bogwasi. And he hit it back to Lasaka, and Lasaka will have the last touch of that chaka. 6-0 in favor of South Africa. Improved performance from Botswana following on from, I won't say from earlier today, because they did do pretty well against Namibia, but certainly a different side to the one that took on South Africa yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, the game is played at a very slow pace by South African standards, and I think that just shows their mind is probably already starting to drift towards tonight and to tomorrow morning, and that's not trying to be disrespectful in any way. For Botswana, it's 30 minutes left to try and get that first goal, to make, to give their fans at home something to cheer about, but ultimately to have a bit of fun as well while they embark on this adventure that is their first foray into Indoor Africa Cup.
Second check about to get underway. Those that got on the scoreboard: Abrams, Futcher, Diane Kasim, Jethro Eustace, the captain, And Mustafa Kasim, 2 going his way. Total of 6. The second chukka in action. Mustafa gets it out to his brother. Nimble stick work. And he gets it in the corner. Interesting little celebration that between Kasim and Sibolt, grabbing each other's ears. Never seen that before. Domlio.
I told you to listen to Mom.
Sibolt. He spots Domlio. Domlio collects. Back to Captain Eustace. Eustace tries to find Mustafa, can't quite get there. But the ball does go out. In fact, it was infringement within the D. So it's another penalty stroke. Sibolt. Eustace, Kasim, and Domlio waiting. It goes to Domlio, fires it in. High fives.
South Africa very, very lethal from penalty corner time today. Probably something they spoke about, because I felt yesterday they were a little bit wasteful on their opportunities. And this won't be a good and happy sign for Namibia watching this.
Sibolt got 2 Kasims in front of him. Chooses Diane, gets it back. Terrific teamwork. Those 3 really operate well together. Sibolt, Mustafa, and Dayan Kasim.
Yeah, it's a combination that really brings out the best in one another. And for all of those who have brothers and sisters, young kids watching this, have brothers and sisters at home, you know, do what the Kasim brothers have done and utilize each other to lift your game to the next level, rather than getting overly competitive. Here is South Africa playing the triangles, just pass and move, pass and move, pass and move, pass and move. Possession game. Jethro will look across.
Kasim. Domlio. First flick, and it goes into the corner. Another goal for South Africa. They are dominating this encounter, and they look a determined team. They had a very big victory over against Botswana yesterday. Many were thinking, would they take this, would they drop the intensity a little bit? It doesn't seem like it, which is a worrying sign for Botswana. If they thought they'd be eased into international competition, that certainly wasn't the case.
So for Matabella getting taken out there. Botswana having a chance.
Sibolt breaks away. Gets it out to Mustafa Kasim. Kasim flies, and that goes out of play. Back to Botswana. Stolen by Kasim, and look at him play around it. Oh, cheeky effort that from Dayan Kasim. It looked like he was taking that. He was rather blasé with the effort, and then you could definitely sense a little bit of panic from him when he realized he'd actually lost control of the ball, and he made amends very, very quickly to make sure that he did score the goal.
I think he saw Chad Foot just standing on the side there, and he was like, oh yeah, I'm getting subbed for that.
Dayan. Domlio. Eustace. Nice fake shot there from Jethro. Domlio goes back to collect. After Dayan can't quite hold on.
That's where he's just too good. And Tefa Matabola seeing that and says, no. You can have it, Justin. I'm going to drop out.
Futcher onto the court now. Abram. Domlio. Futcher. Abram. Domlio. They'll continue to keep it in the back until they start to mount the attack. Mustafa tries to center it for Sibolt. He can't find him. Opportunity for Botswana. That goes a begging. Tell you what, they came agonizingly close to scoring earlier today, and it would have sent this place into raptures. Not many people here, but of those that are, no doubt, of course, they're rooting for South Africa, but I'm sure everyone would be happy to see Botswana score a goal.
It would have been the goal that was felt in Gaborone. It would have been the goal that shook the Okavango Delta. And it would have been a goal that excited every one of us here at Thomas More College. It was close, but it was the right call. As much as I gave umpire Peter Calder grief, it was the correct call. You can't play the ball lying on the floor. But whoa, how exciting was that as an opportunity, and it's something we'd love to see. Botswana, we definitely want to see them develop. We want to see Zimbabwe back, and we'd love to see indoor African hockey becoming a tournament that has to go a week long because there's so many teams.
We really would like to see it.
We might
the more the better.
We might have to get a third commentator just to share the load a little bit.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Penalty corner time. Abrams with the delivery. Centers it. Futcher. And that was as open as you could get. Katlo Bosang running out, and in doing so, left a wide open space next to him. And he doesn't need any further invitation.
Yeah, sorry, Derek. We spoke about that yesterday, and that's exactly what I mean. If you come out, you've got to make sure you get there. Otherwise, it just makes it look like an easy goal.
Yeah. Something interesting I learned a little earlier. Tanya, in fact, taught me this. It was during the clash between South Africa, rather Namibia and Botswana in the earlier game, the women's match. And I was wondering up until this stage why Namibia, when singing the national anthem, they were facing away from us. So we've got the cameras this side, and every other team would face us, while Namibia, you'd always see the backs of their heads. This afternoon, however, it was a different scenario in that they did face us. They were standing facing the same direction as their opponents, who were Botswana. And then you quickly explain why that was the case.
Yeah, so tradition states that when the anthem plays, you should face the flag. And obviously the flag, as you can all see in the camera feed, is there on the opposite side by the technical table. And obviously for the benefit of viewers at home, we asked if teams could face this way, just for the camera, so that you could see the people singing without disrespecting everyone. The Namibians did not want to break that tradition, rightfully so, and fully respectfully. And so what they did today was they put team management behind us with a flag so that they could face this way and sing to all of you at home. And I think it's a nice statement, but also it's really nice for the guys at home to be able to look at your players while they are singing the anthems, because you can't be here with them.
It's quite a nice tradition, though. I like that. When you sing the anthem, you have to face your country's flag. I suppose generally that is often the case where you're at a sporting event that you probably get to face it. But that wasn't the case today, and Namibia making sure that they did. Interplay between the back two of Abrams and Futcher. Centered now, Diane, oh, it was Thun who was stopped. Botswana with the breakaway, don't often say that. Oh, and what happened there? Was Malefi going down? Matubela goes down again.
Derek just sent that up to VAR to have a look at it. And what actually happened was there was an earthquake.
Oh, there was a massive clash there. Had potential. Oh, Futcher tries his best to slide the ball into the goal. Not to be. And it finally does bobble in. Mustafa with the strike. Not his prettiest, and certainly not his last. Sibolt. Eustace. Back to Eustace. Domlio. Sibolt. Eustace. Domlio. Centers it through. Great save by Busang. Stopping Mustafa from point blank range. And Mustafa, his next effort going just wide. Yeah, it's not every day that a keeper can say that I stopped a Mustafa Kasim strike where he was inches away from me. Sibolt continues to go. Saved again. Busang. Kasim. Eustace. Saved again.
And that will be time.
No goal.
No goal, no shorty, half time.
Wow, I think I counted 5 saves from Busang in that last minute or so. And that is half time.
South Africa 13, Botswana 0. And really it has been a very one-sided half. Not really much for Botswana here. They've got 20 minutes left in the Indo-African Cup to try and learn from the experience, try and take some positives and use it to go out and develop. Of course, it's all meaningless if you go home and don't use this to try and build a program. And hopefully they will take this opportunity to do that. Thomas More College in Kloof in KZN, the hosts of this tournament. Of course, this indoor facility was opened on Thursday night, with Billy Ntuli and Sidley Ntuli's mom being the guest of honor to open it. A beautiful ceremony to open it up, and the tournament got underway yesterday afternoon or morning. We had 6 games yesterday. This is game number 10, game number 5 of the men's tournament. As it stands, South Africa will play Namibia tomorrow in the men's and women's tournament, as they will look to decide who will be going to Belgium for the Indo Hockey World Cup.
This was earlier before the match. South Africa putting in the hard yards in terms of preparations. There we have coach Ryan Hack looking over his charges. New man in charge. Of course, he had served the role a couple of years back. And once again, returning to top spot in the SA men's indoor hockey side.
Yeah, second half is about to get underway. South Africa leading 13-0. A little bit more of a mellow game than yesterday. Of course, let's just remember that tonight we will be back at 6 o'clock for South Africa versus the Namibia Women's, the grudge match. And of course, 6:30 we will be going on with the men's game, South Africa and Namibia. Before we get underway, we are staring at the back of Diane Kasim. Give us a wave, Diane. There we go. In case you got to see that at home. If you didn't, he waved. Trust me.
Break dancing champ Diane Kasim about to get his third chaka underway, and there he is, focused, getting it to his skipper, Jethro Eustace. Eustace tries to advance Sibbald, can't quite do so. Buddaping intercepts, tries to hand it back, but couldn't find his man. And here we go. Eustace finding Sibbald. Domnio. Eustace. Sibbald. Assesses the situation, finds his captain. They continue to bounce the ball back and forth. Eustace number 21, and in fact, it lifted so. Botswana getting the ball back. Kerate. But he can't get his man. He can eventually find Mustafa Kasim. And South Africa get another goal. Another error from Botswana led to that. That is certainly the area that they'd want to work on. You know, you can't stop a talent like South Africa. You just can't prevent them from being good. But you can prevent your own self from making mistakes. And there's been a lot of times where Botswana have been their own worst enemies. That indeed was the case right there. Eustace to Sibbald. Fires it in the middle, can't get his man. Eventually, Diane Kasim kind of gets hold of the ball. Flings it in. W can't get there. Well saved, well stopped.
A reminder, Justin Domnio is attempting to qualify for his third World Cup, going in 2015, 2018. He wants to go in 2022. I see Bongo Ngoma has some company there. Looks like they're having a good chat. Not at all. But it's been a very chilled game for South Africa's young goalkeeper from Westville Boys. Of course, currently doing matric, and I did ask him if he was able to get out of all of his maths homework, and he said no, he isn't. So in between games, when the guys are doing warm-ups and video, he's doing maths. Pretty cool story, though, to be in matric playing for your national team.
Yeah, it blows my mind how young these guys and ladies are, yet operating in the top tier of sport in their country. Kasim can't hold on. We just missed South Africa scoring yet another goal. That took their tally to 15. Matabolo makes it away. Yeah, Mgomo really just relaxing in the back. Actually looks like the most relaxed man on earth, to be honest. Domnio. Sibbald, long pass out to his skipper. And he gets it through to Kasim. Well saved once again from Busang. Matabolo. Long pass out. Here's a chance now for Botswana. Honasele. He gets it out once again to Matabolo. And it's through to Bongwasi. Bongwasi. Finally, South Africa's keeper could be tested. No!
By Claire Cowan being mean and blowing the rules and ruining the moment for everyone. And South Africa getting on their way out. Here's Jethro, another boykie from the east. Dan Sibbald, but he fires it wide, missing the opportunity to make it 16-0. It remains 15-0.
You have to be specific, Ty, because we're not in Johannesburg anymore. You say the east.
I mean, Jethro is from the east of Durban, the east of Johannesburg, and the east of Cape Town.
Kasim, Diane, he spots the gap, and he gets it in. There's no stopping him from that close range. You know, it was interesting when Botswana had the opportunity now a few seconds ago. We were talking about Bongamusa Ngoma, who was looking pretty chilled, and suddenly he had to spring into action. And when Botswana were blown up, he was frustrated. And he said, no, man, he actually wanted to be called to action and attempt to save a shot or two.
I asked Sharique Gravenstein earlier, the South African women's goalkeeper, I said, you know, you've played almost 40 caps now for the country. And you played some tough games, All-Stars and Poland and stuff. And oh, that is a misjudgment from... Yeah, there's a misjudgment, not assuming it was seen as a shot. Losing judgment there and letting it in. So an error there from Botswana, allowing South Africa to go. But I was asking you, what do you prefer as a goalkeeper? Do you prefer the clean sheet, or do you prefer having 1,000 or 100 shots at you and you save most of them? She said, you're a hockey player. You want to play. You want shots to come at you. It's no fun watching a game. You want to play the game.
I can completely agree. I mean, I think in any sport, to just sit back and do nothing, that's boring. It's like even in our highly competitive cricket match that we played during the break between the two sets of matches, I wanted to be keeper because there were 40 of us in the field. Chance of the ball coming to you were very slim.
Yeah, that's why I went to silly point until until Sarah, the technical director, showed her cricketing prowess and hit a beautiful cover drive, and I decided, nah, never mind. I'm going to field that long on.
High fives all round as South Africa get another goal. 18 on the board. 4 minutes left in this chukka. Matabolo getting things underway, and he goes down again. Jeez, he really has been in the wars. Falling over the boards there, but helped up by Tun. Butcher gets it out to Abrams. Captain Eustace eventually gains control of the ball. Tun. Eustace to Futcher. Tun. To Gabella. Gabella can't hold on. But that will be a penalty corner for South Africa. Abrams to deliver. And goes to Tun. Tun fires, well saved once again by Busang. And the fight for the ball continues. Matabolo winning that one. Only just, but Abrams gets it back. Abrams gets it to Gabella. Gabella fires in and it's hit away again by Busang. Another shot in front. Here's an opportunity, and he hits the post from you don't get more point blank from that. And Abrams missing out, and another save. Wow! Busang, take your head off.
Tun getting his goal with that Lumo stick. In fact, I was using it earlier to show people where to park.
Sorry, I lost my train of thought there with that nonsense. Take a bow, Busang. I mean, that was an incredible piece of keeping. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 saves before South Africa eventually managed to score. 2.5 minutes to go in this, the third and penultimate chukka. Eustace sends it out to Futcher, and it's Gabella gets on the board. The little pocket rocket. Small in stature, big in heart, powerful in power, dynamite in pace. So the ball going out, and Ngoma called into action. Kicks it back to Eustace.
A very successful touch there for Bongo Ngoma, passing it on to Jethro Eustace. 100% pass completion rate. Yes, Jethro Eustace on the ball. Justin Domleo, his long-time teammate, both at KZN and for the South African team. Great ball. Mustafa Kasim. Tick-tock, bang. Goal for South Africa.
Action continues for South Africa. Kasim tried to reverse through the legs effort. Eventually it goes to his brother. And that is sent wayward, following a block. Kasim. Eustace. Back to Kasim.
Men's convener of selectors was saying that, you know, that flag tradition, he sent me a message now.
Yes.
It's why at the Olympics and stuff, you and Grand Prix, you always see the drivers and medalists face away from it because the flags are always behind them.
Ah.
So you're supposed to honor your flag. You know that they hang the flags behind them, so
Yes.
they turn to face the
Yes.
flags on the side and stuff.
Okay.
Brilliant stuff.
Yeah. Didn't really think of things like that before. And you know me and flags, Ty. When it comes to the Wednesday 1K challenge and all the various trivia things we do, I am the flag man. Sheldon Cooper has nothing on me.
In many ways, he really doesn't, Derek. He's not as socially... his social prowess is not close to as strong as yours. And you don't mind sitting in different seats.
I don't.
But who will sit
comfy
in the
chair of
driver's
yours,
seat?
by the way, Ty. I'm really enjoying it. Thank you. So, missed opportunity there for South Africa, but it won't matter because they lead 21-0 with one chucker still to go. Only 10 minutes left of the clash. And yeah, they'll be very happy with proceedings. I know you know this one, Ty. It's one of my favorite trivia questions of all time regarding flags, and which is the only country in the world that has a non-quadrilateral flag. In other words, not square or rectangular.
Isn't it two you always say? Nepal and someone?
Oh, you just gave it away.
Oh,
it's only
sorry.
one. Wanted to see if I wanted to see if anyone knew that.
It's like, isn't the meaning of life 42? I mean, what is the meaning of life?
Okay, here's another one then. And you do know this, so you're not allowed. And actually, on the subject of the Olympics, here's a good one. A really, really good one. I forget which Olympics it was. I think it was 1936, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah, I watched that one.
Yeah. Chris, our director, actually directed then the 1936 Olympics. Impressive stuff from Chris. But
No, but Chris, in fairness, that I believe that was only your second or third job. So
Yes.
you were still quite young at the time.
he celebrated his 21st at the time. Big celebration that time. So, yeah, I think it was the 1936 Olympics. I'm not too sure. But two countries rocked up there and realized that they had the exact same flags. And after doing so, they then went on to change their respective flags. So thanks to them meeting at the Olympics, two countries discovered that they had the exact same flags, and that's since led to them both changing it. Which are those two countries, Ty? You can't answer yet. Let the folks watching at home let us know over on the comment section, and let's see how they do. Back to the action now. Fun with flags is over. It's fun with hockey. It's fun with Gabela, who gets another goal for South Africa early in this, the fourth and final chukker.
$22 up on the board. Captain Jethro Eustace wearing 21. 23 up on the board. Captain Eustace still wearing 21. South Africa now leading by a Eustace plus a... Who is number 2?
Mustafa Kasim.
Yeah. By Eustace and Kasim. Oh, they're standing right next to each other in front of me. Mustafa to Jethro. Jethro to Mustafa. To Jethro. To Mustafa. To Jethro. You know what's coming next, isn't it? To Rustin. To Gabela and wide.
I'll tell you what, Mustafa's within earshot of us, and I reckon he heard you when you asked that question. He goes, I'm going to show you.
Yeah, he was like, oh, you think you can predict what I'm going to do? No.
Yeah. No one can predict what Mustafa Kasim can do.
Not even Mustafa Kasim.
Only man who can is his brother.
Yeah.
Diane can.
And their dad.
Yes. Diane can predict what Mustafa can do before Mustafa can. Gabela, back to Mustafa.
This is like an Inception, trying to understand the movie Inception. It's like a plan within a plan within a plan within a plan. Chad Futcher.
Butcher shaking his head.
Passing it with the power of a lot.
Does Futcher have braids in his hair? It's like he's got... Oh. No, it's like a little headband. Like a really little one. I thought not braids. I thought he had a plait.
I mean, if he did, I'm pretty sure that the Quackers would be giving him a lot of grief. But, oh yeah, it's got his head
see what I mean?
around the headband.
Yeah. So
Jerry is at the back. He is a goal scorer, so he doesn't like staying back here long. But he sets up Rustin Abrams, who finishes.
Abrams and Futcher discussing how that goal came about.
Abrams giving Futcher some guidance. Please pass it better.
Futcher intercepting. He's got Abrams in the middle. He gets the ball back, but it goes away. Botswana.
I actually played one of my last games of indoor hockey when I came out of retirement for a little bit before my knee completely gave. Where I actually played against Chad in
That
indoor
must have
hockey.
been fun.
Well, it was fun for him because I think it was 18 or 19, no? Him and Kyle Marks, dribbling circles, were playing in the PIH, the Premier Indoor Hockey for Eastern Gauteng. I was a fox and he was something else. And yeah, I think we
He was a hare.
He was a pain in the... and I think it was 18-2. And Chad, you know, we had him on the podcast once before, and I asked him what he thought about it. And he says, no, man, he doesn't remember that. I said, Chad, you embarrassed me. He says, no, I didn't play against you. I was like, wow, that's how memorable it was. Thank you, Chad. Thank you.
Hey, we've got a couple of answers coming through already regarding my question. Congratulations, Catarino dos Santos, Merrick Martin. The question was, which two countries discovered that they had the exact same flag at the Olympic Games? And I think it goes back to 1936. Just need to clarify that. Which two countries discovered that they had the exact same flags? Meanwhile, as for matters on the court, South Africa scoring once again. Diane Kasim doing the business. Very good effort from him. Tun. He's got his captain on his right. Looks to go there. Instead, he opts for Sibbalt. Sibbalt and Tun continue. There's the captain. Jethro Eustace sends it into the center. And eventually it is a goal.
Derek, 4.5 minutes remaining. We will be saying goodbye to Botswana, and we asked the question of the woman earlier. Let's ask the question of the men.
Yes. I will have a look now. Just looking at another question coming through from Rachel Ndongo. Could Kasim probably mean lightning in some other language? I'm getting convinced. That's a very pertinent question, because lightning indeed does strike twice if you are a Kasim. Diane, Mustafa, quick, powerful.
Good touch for Anton.
Anton van Lockerenberg getting in on the action. Mustafa to Diane. He's got Tunin it inside, doesn't need him because he hands it over to his skipper, Jethro Eustace, who does the rest. Okay, yeah, thanks, Ty. Let's have a look. I mean, there's probably three players that stand out for me. Number one, although it must be said, Tefo Matabolo, I think yesterday he had a far bigger impact than today. And I wonder if when he went down, it looked like he suffered a bit of a knee injury yesterday. I wonder if that may have hampered him somewhat. But yeah, it was a case of whenever he touched that he would be in action. That being said, one guy who I'm surprised that we haven't seen more of, because he certainly did look the part, and we saw him a little bit yesterday, and that was Ronan Andrews. He's been fairly quiet today. Then elsewhere, I like the look of Teriso Bogwasi, the big number 8. Hard to miss him, nice and physical, wearing a smile across his face now, but usually he's mean and assertive. But without doubt, my numero uno player for Botswana as we watch South Africa score yet another goal. And just like we saw in the women's game, and just like we said in the women's game, whereas Sipiso Jacob let in a lot of goals, she also stopped a lot too, and that certainly has been the case for Botswana and their captain, Katlo Busang. The man with the number 1 jersey has repelled some amazing shots from South Africa and from Namibia. And in doing so, he is my top pick for Botswana as we say goodbye to them in this tournament tie.
Yeah, I don't differ much from you. I thought Karate yesterday and Matabola yesterday, those two really impressed me. I thought today Botswana looked a little bit tired this morning, and other than their captain, who was both a gentleman on and off the field, Katlo Busang, I think he was the standout. I don't think the other players quite stood up today. As Chad Futcher stands up and puts one more into the top right corner. 1 minute and 16 seconds remain, and South Africa on the verge of 30.
Just over a minute to go. Can South Africa get their 30th? Can Botswana get their first? That remains to be seen. Anton van Lockenberg steadies himself. Height of optimism there. Abrams looking back to Eustace, the skipper. Futcher looks around, gets it out to Abrams. Gabella, Eustace, Futcher, back to Eustace. Centers through to Tun, can't quite get him, and that will go the way of Botswana with about 30 seconds to go. And it's Eustace who fires home with a few seconds left. And that is the end of the game. That is the end of Botswana's tournament. South Africa win 30 goals to 0. Full credit to them. They were superb as they head into the big one tonight against Namibia. But Botswana, we say farewell to them. No wins for them, no goals for them. But that being said, very, very new to international hockey. And they can certainly hold their heads up high, Ty.
They can absolutely hold their heads up high. It wasn't to be for them. And, you know, Derek, I don't have a problem with them being here if they now use this as the springboard to go and develop their game. It shouldn't be where they start and stop. It should just seriously only be the beginning. And indoor hockey is the way to develop. It's smaller nations without the same facilities.
Thank you very much, Ty. You are needed downstairs. Off you go. Go chat to the captains, and that wraps up the 4th match of the day. Only 2 matches still to come. That's this evening. In both cases, it's South Africa versus Namibia. First up in the women's competition, and then in the men. It's a repeat of last night's clashes. On the women's side, South Africa edging Namibia 2-1. It was a nail-biter. In the second game, the men coming away with a 6-3 win, the South African men, that is. And yeah, the scoreline certainly doesn't allude to what actually took place in the game, because Namibia certainly put up a massive fight, and they were in that contest for long moments in the game. But let's head downstairs to Tyron and the skippers.
Good luck. That brings the end to your tournament. Overall, there are some positives for you and your team, and it must have been a great honour to wear the badge of Botswana Hockey Association for their first series.
Yes, it is all our honor, the whole team that is. And I do agree with you, there's more goods than what you would call negatives. Because even with this game that we just played against South Africa, I saw so many improvements, which means the team is receptive, and I believe overall I can say I'm proud of how we're able to still somehow contain ourselves. There was not as many cards as the previous game, which means our attitudes were better. We were able to be composed despite the whole ball of emotions. So yeah.
Yeah, you spoke this morning about the fact that attitude was a little bit disappointing. You can't fault the attitude today. The execution isn't there yet, but it's something that obviously you guys can take home and start to develop on.
Yes, and I feel like having faced such strong teams, now we can say we have a basis on where to begin. Because I mean, if you do start off from rock bottom, then for sure whatever you're going to build is going to be nothing but the best. So yes.
I mean, each of you can hold your heads up high. You've represented your families, your friends, your country proudly, and it's been an absolute pleasure to have you guys here, and we wish you the best for going forward.
And thank you very much, and we are looking forward to coming back.
Absolutely welcome anytime. Thank you very much. Good luck. Over to the man who not only shares my birthday but also shares in my hockey ability, just at an unfair proportion. But Jet, job done, fairly easy. Not really having to get out of first or second gear. Team doing exactly what you guys wanted them to do.
Yeah, well, yes and no. I think we meant to play a little bit more clinical, not necessarily with a high speed, but trying to be more clinical. I think we're very slow, but waited for the opportunity to score goals. And then again, when that comes, we're scoring some really cool goals at the moment. I think everybody's now sort of on the score sheet. But I just, firstly got to compliment Botswana for coming out to play 4 internationals. It's their first 4 internationals in indoor hockey. I think there's a big learning curve for them, so they at least now see what the African Cup of Nations is all about. And I think for them, they'll take a lot from this. They get ranking points, so now they're ranked nation in the indoor hockey world, and I think they got to deserve all the compliments that they do, because to come out and play 4 test matches against some really good indoor nations, it's quite a challenge. You drop your heads a little bit, and for them, they came out and still tried to play as hard as they could.
Obviously, it's very chalk and cheese if you compare last night's game against Namibia to today's game against Botswana. I mean, how do you get the mentality right in the team, knowing, and no disrespect meant by the statement, but knowing you guys are going to win the game, but you still have to come out and play it?
Yeah, I think, you're spot on there, Ty. I think the reality is you play a very tough fixture pretty much 12 hours ago or 14 hours ago, and then you've got to come back and play another test match, which is slightly a little bit less of the tempo. But we did speak about what we're trying to achieve, and it's the same process as I said yesterday. We're all here to try and achieve the end goal, so it's a process. We're ticking boxes over the next 3 games to go. It's just something that we're trying to build on and on. Even though that might not look like we're trying things to certain game plans, we just tried and tested a few things now against Botswana just to see how we're going, and also managing legs. I think we look at the 5 games in 3 days is probably the biggest challenge that most players have, and to try and test the game plans and trying to execute them all the time at 100% is not going to work, because the last game is the most important game. So our goal is to try and be fit and ready for the fixture tomorrow.
And last one, I mean, you've just said it. The last one is the most important game, but there's still one more tonight. And, how do you make sure the guys are fully dialed in for that, knowing that everybody's minds are already casting towards Sunday?
Yeah, I think it's that same maybe concept that DJ and myself spoke about last night, is when we play against each other, it's always a challenge. It's never we're not going to give half an inch for them to win, or they're not going to give half an inch for us to win. So I think it's still going to be a tough fixture. We know that we've got a lot in the tank still left. We gave a lot of guys a chance to rest a little bit of legs, so it just leads towards what we're preparing for, and that's tomorrow. And we know tonight will be another humdinger of a match. I think it's going to be who can stay more composed and clinical in the circle. We're just excited to be playing indoor hockey again. I think that's probably the first thing, and then we'll see what tonight brings.
Nah, fantastic stuff. Good luck to you and the gents. We'll see you back tonight, and obviously back in the final tomorrow, as that's all confirmed.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Ty. Thank you very much, Jethro Eustace. Congratulations on the victory. Also, congratulations to Katlo Busang. He can certainly hold his head up high. A tremendous ambassador for his country, a tremendous captain. Really, really speaks well. Superb talent, and he'll only get better from here on in. And that wraps up the midway session, the afternoon session, should I say. An evening session still to come. 2 more matches taking place. It's the biggies, as South Africa take on Namibia in both the women's and men's competition. It all gets underway from 6 o'clock SA time. Tune in then. We'll see you there. Cheers.